everyone. It's Sunday, November 15th. Time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. So the global hide market is still seeing variations among the regions, with some steady at best and others still on the rise. Overall, uncertainty is still coloring everything because of the growing spikes in COVID-19 just about everywhere. Starting with the United States this week, not much was very different because offers remain limited and some popular steel prices continue inching higher. Sellers said interest was pretty good, but it was less than the previous week. Once again, sales at steady prices were not a problem, but achieving anything higher is becoming increasingly difficult for sellers. After last week's higher prices, heavy Texas steers settled to sell at $29 for seasonal 62, 64 pound selections. This is 50 cents less than last week, but most say that Texas is still fully firm. Slaughter for the week through Saturday, November 14th was 653,000, and that's up by 1% from the previous week. Combined export sales were decidedly lower at 417,900, actually down 18% from the previous week. Combined shipments similarly were lower, this time by 20%, coming in at 462,900. This isn't surprising given all the issues with the shipping channels these days, which you can read about in our market observations this week. Turning to South America, editor Ronald Guiel tells us that Brazil once again had a price increase on raw material. The price of fresh hides went up another 4 cents to sell for R$1, 7 cents per kilo. TR1, however, managed to stay steady, selling for 78 cents per square foot. In other news from Brazil, the country's October hide exports were down just 1.6% in value from the same month in 2019, but they were actually higher by 8.9% compared to September. So that is a very good thing. For the 10-month period, the total export value was down by 22.5% in value and 11.4% in area compared to last year. Footwear exports from Brazil also saw an increase in October, and they were higher by 28.6% in volume and 4.8% in dollars compared to September. Compared to 2019, though, it was a decline of 6.1% in pairs and 36.8% in revenue. The 10 months of the year were also lower compared to 2019. Elsewhere in Latin America, a region of Argentina is looking at reviving a tannery for Patagonian sheep hides. Colombia's July through September slaughter was down 5.3%, and Mexico's industrial activity stagnated in September, with leather being down by 25%. Turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo reports that the mood is pretty gloomy given the increase in restrictions due to the COVID surge and the uncertainty of how demand is going to fare during this period. So looking at some specific selections, the English 36 Plus ox was absolutely the only selection in Europe to see an increase last week. Selling at 95 cents sterling in Britain. In Ireland, the prices remain steady at 80 to 85 cents in euros, both due to availability and quality. With regard to European bulls, demand is quite good, but prices are having difficulty, particularly those from southern Germany, while northern German hides were unchanged at 90 cents in euros. Cows from Central Europe saw declines during the week, while other origins were able to hang on to those steady levels. Veal skins, on the other hand, are having some more serious problems, so you'll want to see what Andrea has to say about that. In his analysis, Andrea looks at what's going on with these various prices, and he lays out what's expected in the various origins from now through Christmas, which is unbelievably only about 6 weeks away. So that's all we have for this week, and until next week, good night from HideNet.